Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
Kristen, Dame. This episode of the Pete the Planner Show is brought to you by Indiana 529. I had one of those parenting moments recently that kind of just sneaks up on you. This weekend. My 16-year-old daughter and I were talking about the future, college, life, all the big, scary, expensive stuff. And for the first time, I showed her how much we've saved for education. Not in a braggy way, just more of a like, hey, here's what it looks like over time based on what your mom and I have been doing. You know what surprised me? She didn't roll her eyes. She didn't say cool. She didn't even say 6, 7. She was just generally thankful, like really thankful. A little bit shocked. Maybe that's on me. She understands that it wasn't magic. There's all these small decisions added up, and I love that. And that money lives in our Indiana 529 account. What I love about it is how unremarkable it is in the best way possible. What an ad. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to start big. You just have to start little at a time, month after month, year after year. And then one day you can be in your hallway of your house. You can have a meaningful conversation with your kid about what you've done together. Plus, Indiana kicks in a state tax credit, which still feels like a polite Midwestern pat on the back for doing the responsible thing. So if you've got kids or grandkids or just the local neighbor kid who you want to be the cool neighbor and save for their college education, it's not as weird as it sounds. It is. Go to Indiana529.com, open an account, set it up, forget about it for a while, because one day you might get a quiet thank you that you didn't even know was coming. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the return of Kristen Elanius. Kristen, hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing well. How are you?
Why, Dame and I have been barely hanging on by a thread doing the show without you.
I'm so sorry about that.
I understand. Dame, do you want to express your feelings for Kristen?
Don't ever do that again, Kristen. Just be here. We expect punctuality. We expect frequency. Mm-hmm. It's going in your file.
Okay. Thank you.
Friends, I did something this morning that may change my life forever. I was just going to leave it there, actually. All right, let's get on with the show. No, when I made my little protein shake, my little shaky shake, I had some old cold brew laying around. Cold brew, a little bit of water, and my chocolate protein shake, Queen and Kristen, I discovered like a Jamocha protein shake this morning. It was delicious.
As a point of order,
okay.
You discovered it for you. You didn't discover that.
Well, I mean, did the people who discovered America really discover America, Kristen? No, they just took it as their own.
Don't set me up like that. Thank you.
Okay, no, I'm just saying Billie Eilish has thoughts on this. I don't watch the Grammys. Do you guys watch the Grammys?
No.
No, nobody has time for that.
I'm not an award show person at all, but I think my least favorite, other than the Tonys, with all due respect, is probably the Grammys. It's just a lot.
Did you watch award shows when you were younger? Like the MTV Music Awards were pretty popular in our days, and I remember watching very, very intently because there was lots of live music, and I enjoyed I didn't care who won. I liked the live music portions.
Yeah, totally. My interest in that and pretty much everything else pop culture has definitely faded. Kristen, you're a young-ish.
Okay.
Do you watch award shows?
I used to. My mom used to tape all the country music awards and then on VHS, and then we would watch them the next day after school because they were too late for us, but I don't really anymore.
Jameson, the glass blower. Wait, what is he? He's the glass. Infused glass.
Infused glass.
I just like to imagine Jameson blowing glass. I don't know. He says, I swear we're the same person. I do my protein shakes in my iced coffee. Also big fan of magnesium glycinate at night. Got a dash cam yet, Pete? No, I don't have a dash cam, but I've considered it because I've been driving to Chicago more. It just feels like one of those places that you want to be cammed up, you know?
Yeah.
Dame, did you hit the kneesy this week?
I did. I tried it. And you know what?
Yeah.
Worst sleep I've ever had.
No.
Promise. I've stopped it. I can't deal with it. It was I don't know what it was. I went to bed that night expecting just nothing but sweet dreams and the Eurythmics sing all night.
521 vacuum. There it was.
It was horrible. Horrible sleep. So I'm off the kneesy.
Kristen, you've done the hit the kneesy?
No, because if it did work, that's not good. I have a newborn or a baby. What is she?
I don't know.
When I don't know she's 4 months old. What do you call that? She's
Do
a
you
baby.
expect us to tell a mother how to classify her child?
Well, you guys have raised kids.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me tell you this. Dame and I are both 48 years old. He's almost 49.
Hey.
Do you think we're going to tell a woman what we should classify her kid as? Do you think we're calling for that?
It wasn't unsolicited.
Trap.
I just don't know like when that transition from like obviously she's not an infant. She's not newborn. She's 4 months old. I think she's just a baby.
It's a trap. That was Admiral Akbar, everybody. It's a trap. No, Dave and I know better. We have been asked, how do these jeans look? Lots of times. And we, as younger men, used to take the bait and answer it. Now, we don't.
Yeah.
Kristen, speaking of children.
Yeah.
The women in my house are at a sporting competition, whatever, in Florida.
Oh,
And so Theodore and I are on our own men.
steak.
A lot of steak so far. A couple things. How in the world does a single parent do it? Like, how in the world does a single parent survive? I was gone. My wife was gone for 16 to 18 hours, and I was drowning in too much to do. Like, how does one person do it?
So much respect. When I'm like hitting her dad and I'm like, hey, it's your turn. I can't imagine if it had to be my turn every time.
Dame, yeah, I'm past respect into just like disbelief and awe. I was exhausted day one, and I didn't even do anything. It was Ted. He's easy.
Yeah.
As opposed to
My daughter, he's not.
Okay.
She doesn't listen. It's okay. To the show or me, so it's fine.
Perfect. I don't know, Pete. I don't know how anybody that has kids on their own and a job. I mean, it has to be a situation where you just get comfortable with things falling through the cracks. Because I cannot imagine being up on everything at all times. You'd never sleep.
Mass respect and thanks. I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't want to feel these folks to be feeling ostracized, but it's silly. Ted's also learning what it's different to just be with dad as opposed to be with mom. He was like, hey, where's my shirt for gym class? And I was like, I don't know, man. He's like, well, what do I do? And I was like, hey, not on my list of problems. Hey, figured it out.
To learn personal responsibility. This is a great growth opportunity. It was spending time with dad.
The other night we made dinner and he's like, hey, you didn't wash some berries and put them into a cup for me. And I was like, okay. He's like, but I got to have fruit. And I was like, okay.
So wash the fruit, my man.
See those bananas? Go grab one, pal. Let's do the show. Radio show incoming. I didn't know what this week's show was going to be about. We kind of went about a couple ideas early in the week. And then last night I just came over the top rope like John Cena. I don't watch wrestling. And said,
He's done.
I don't know. And said, the market is nuts right now. All markets, commodities, crypto, equities, specifically tech. So let's just kind of pump the brakes a little bit, talk about the market and what it is and what it isn't. And so that's what we're going to do. was about to ask my friends here, like, is everybody good with that? But I don't know if we have the option to pull back at this point. All right, so let me get ready to go. Here we go. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1. This week on the Pete the Planner Show, we answer your money questions. Here's how the show works. You email us, askpete@petetheplanner.com. That's askpete@petetheplanner.com. And here's what happens. We answer your emails on the air. Sometimes your emails are, hey, I want to contribute to the show by giving you a biggest waste of money of the week, like our good friend Andy did this week. I'm not using it as this week's biggest waste of money a week, but it'll be next week. I am Peter Dunn. I am the host. I go by Pete the Planner. I'm joined by Damian the Dunn, who is my colleague. Hello, Dame.
Hello, Pete.
No relation. And Kristen Elanius, return of the Mac. Hello, Kristen.
Hello, Pete.
Kristen, gone the last couple of weeks. She is back. Everyone's excited. We've got the youthful and feminine perspective back on our show, and arguably the logical perspective back on our show, and the haired perspective back on our show. This week, we examine what in the world is going on with the markets. The markets are a way to talk about a few things. Most time when you talk about the market, you're talking about the equity market, the stock market. But we can also talk about the bond markets. We can talk about the real estate markets. We can talk about the commodities markets in terms of precious metals like gold and silver, who are certainly schizophrenic right now. And by God, we're going to talk about crypto as well. So we will start there. Kristen, here's what's interesting. Very dynamic market right now. But that doesn't feel like there's this Lehman Brothers moment. There's not this global pandemic moment triggering all of this. It's like without explanation, a simple explanation, it's a lot of chaos. How do you think about that?
That's really interesting because as I was thinking and kind of like taking some mental notes for today's show, you guys, most of my adult life, down markets have come with like really big, like global, like worldwide events, like you said, COVID or the 2008 housing market crisis. So I think specifically for someone my age, if there's not something that we feel like we can blame, like, oh, well, this is why, you might be having a pretty hard time right now.
Yeah, Dame, and then we're gaslit by the fact that the market, as of the recording, live now, we're live streaming, but this is being recorded for the radio this weekend, surged 700 points, up 800 points on the Dow this morning. In light of all this, I would still, the title of this show is Why the Markets Are Unsettled Right Now. Unsettled has a negative connotation, but it's also about a dynamic nature. Dame, what makes this harder is when it swings up this much, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about going from trying to figure out, where the floor is to taking a deep breath, but not knowing if you're just gonna figure out where the new floor is after it goes back down. I'm sure you remember back in the crisis, either one of them, the housing crisis or just the crash in the early 2000s. It just seemed like every day was a new floor and a new floor, and you didn't know where that roller coaster was going to stop. And it's incredibly unsettling. Now, in situations like these, as Kristen already pointed out, and yourself, what in the world is going on? What can we point the finger at? How can we slow this down or right the ship? Not sure. But this is far from unprecedented. These are, I don't want to say normal times, because I think the volatility is a little bit bigger, but it's not to be unexpected. This is just normal stock market behavior, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that idea that the markets can be unhealthy without being catastrophic. Like I really like that concept. And I also like the idea that it doesn't necessarily have to be tied to a singular event. I think that's an informative idea. So we're going to work through this entire show, kind of different types of markets. We're going to walk through them. The last couple of weeks, we have been talking about the economy, but we're going to speak specific about markets, right? So sort of off the cuff right now, can we talk about the real estate market in relation to this? Because I feel like it's a little unhinged. I read an article this week that suggested it is A buyer's market? Are you kidding me? It said it is tipping to a buyer. Kristen almost fainted. Kristen, if you can speak, blink twice, and then let us know how that hits you as someone who's just recently purchased a home.
Oh, that's really interesting. I didn't think of it through that perspective. I just, it's been such a tough real estate market since like really the start of the pandemic and even a little bit before that. But it's so interesting to me as someone who lives in an area where certain types of housing are still in very, very high demand to hear that other markets are struggling. Like that disconnect is really challenging.
We have a colleague who has had their home on the market since October and recently got an offer. Guys, if we're going anecdotal as it gets here, but Dame, something on the market since October. And by the way, I mean, people are like, well, depends on the property. It does, but like knowing where this is, one of the most popular areas of central Indiana, and it's been on the market since October, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, Dame, that's different.
Totally. And now that you mentioned it, I've got a friend in Northeast Indiana, not quite as popular as Central Indiana, but they've got a house that's been on the market for 6 to 8 months at this point. And the thing, they had an offer on the table and the person walked away. They never gave them a reason, like a week after they put it on, and nothing after that. So we are starting to see, and maybe it's a little bit more widespread than we thought. Maybe those one-offs aren't quite so uncommon.
Okay, so we've got the real estate market. My belief, and I don't want to project this onto the actual certified financial planner practitioners
there you go.
On the show. Did you guys just see my brain meltdown?
Yeah, that was a crash and a reboot for sure.
Holy Moses. Imagine if I was a Roomba. I could have sucked up the cat. What? So I don't know. So here's my idea. I think that the prospect of interest rates coming down is what could theoretically change the dynamic of the housing market, where it's back to a seller's market. Yet that feels on pause, especially with the latest jobs report. The latest jobs report, the ADP jobs report, says that we added 22,000 jobs in January, revised down from high 40s, high 60s. Dave, that has me feeling like the chaos within the real estate market is not quite over yet.
I think it's going to be regional for a lot of this as we've started to sniff out a little bit. I talk to folks frequently in even areas that you wouldn't think would be really hot real estate wise. Man, there is no weakness in some of the middle America stuff that just is going up and doesn't see any kind of pullback at this point. So jobs are great. 22,000 added is better than 22,000 lost. May not be what we were hoping for, but at least it's on the positive side of the dial. So if we can get some increased jobs in there, maybe keep a little extra dollars flowing into the economy, maybe we can see some movement in locations for jobs across the country.
So as the show goes on, we're going to hit a few different markets. We're going to hit the stock market next. Then this is me telling my colleagues what we're about to talk about. This is like Scott Roddy's going, oh boy. Talk about the stock market. Then possibly, if I can stay focused, we're going to talk about the crypto markets. And then we're going to find our way to commodities. We're going to find ourselves to precious metals with gold and silver, as they've been as chaotic as it gets. But I'll leave you with this nugget as we head to the break. The market got hammered on Thursday of this week, rebounded ridiculously on Friday of this week. Yet, year to date, it's up 3%. It feels chaotic. It is a little schizophrenic, yet it's okay for now. Coming up, more on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. Did you guys vote on the banana poll that I put in the Slack channel?
Yes, I did. You did, in fact, litter.
Okay, can I get this out first so that the listeners are not biased by your hot takes?
They're going to be on my side anyway.
Okay, so live stream, folks, get ready. Keyboard warriors mount up. I'm in a weird mood, guys. I think it's the caffeine in the protein shake.
Did you also take pre-workout?
Not this morning. That's why I was experimenting with coffee drinks. Okay, Dame, here's the scenario. Mm-hmm. Let's just say, and I don't have to be me, it can be a person. They're driving to work and they're consuming God's perfect food, the banana. And they consume the banana. Mm-hmm. And then they're left with God's wrapper. Mm-hmm. And so they dismiss it out the car window, not on the pavement, but into organic material so it can compost. Some would say that that's flat out littering. Others would say that we're here returning nutrients to the soil. What side of the argument are you on? Is that littering or is that not littering a banana peel into an organic bed?
Technically, it's probably littering, but I don't have a problem with it because it composts. It just dissolves to nothing at some point. I mean, if an apple falls from a tree, did the tree litter?
Oh my gosh. That's such. I wish you were with me the other day when I was getting attacked.
I think you should do your best so that somebody doesn't, have to, walk or slip on your banana peel. I mean, it could be disastrous. But
Kristen is chomping at the bit. What do you got?
It's littering because you live in a highly populated area, and it's not fair that now when I walk my dog, I have to pull them away from your banana peel for the rest of eternity, because Lulu, she's not forgetting that banana peel was there ever. It's rude and it's littering.
So I went to ChatGPT to settle this thing. Mm-hmm. And it didn't give me the best answer. What it did say, it said that if it throws off the animals in the area, it's considered littering.
What?
And I was like, what a weird standard. Well, we have a lot of AKC champion deer.
Okay.
Trophy deer, as well as AKC champion Shih Tzus in my area. So Dame, have you ever considered littering is considered littering if it messes up the local animals?
Leave no trace.
Honestly, I haven't.
Anyway, my wife says it's littering too, and I'm not looking to argue with that person.
Just ask her how she'd like that recycled.
Pre-show, guys, there was quite the recycling debate. It got heated. Kristen almost left the show again.
Oh,
Pete, can I ask you one question and then a potential idea for impromptu stock update to just emphasize how crazy it's been. What are you using for year to date for the S&P 500?
Okay, what am I using for this year? Oh, like what site?
Yeah,
I use CNBC. I click on the S&P 500. I pull to the bottom of the page where it says returns year to date. That was the Dow I gave earlier.
Oh, my mistake. Okay,
S&P 500, I got it up 0.34.
Yeah, I mean, like 0.28 on the one that's rolling on my screen, but okay. Yeah, that's well within margin.
Okay, fair. Thank you. Guys, just in here processing both physically and figuratively. The protein shake mixed into coffee doing some things to the stomach.
Oh, no. Did you go back and listen to where you dumped me and left me for a while last week?
No.
Okay, good. Pete had to exit stage left and left me to do a solo break for a while. So
that was a quick stop. I mean, I was like Alex Dinardi at the Indy 500. Just a little pit stop.
Yeah.
Come back in.
I tried to make my own dirty soda the other day.
Oh.
I used a protein shake and a Diet Coke.
Oh.
I think so.
Oh.
It wasn't horrible, but I don't plan on doing it again.
Dame, I don't know if I dreamt this, daydreamed it, or it happened. When I left you hanging on the show last week and took off and tinkled, did I say to you that 5 years ago, that would have been your worst nightmare, and then now it literally is nothing. Did I say that to you, or did I dream that I said that to you?
I don't remember.
It's true, though.
Oh, yeah. It would have been a nightmare.
It's still Kristen's worst nightmare for those who are curious.
Hey, Dame, let's go to the bathroom.
That would be
right now?
Yeah. Real quick before we get back to this financial program, Kristen, let's say you and your special man go out to a local dinner with local folk.
Okay.
And the ladies are like, I need to go to the restroom. And then the lady goes with the lady to the restroom. It's like the double up lady. Do the local men in your area ever go, Carl, you want to go potty? Like, do they ever go together, or is it just the lady? Is this like a regional thing? What's going on?
He and his friends are very codependent. I feel like they go together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. Dame, do your kids go together when you're at a nice restaurant? My kids always, like, one will go and they're like, I'm coming with you. Do your kids do that?
No. I have one of my kids. I swear it was their goal to explore every bathroom if we went somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, it's emergency only.
Wow. Okay. I guess I won't guess publicly who's who, but I have a sense. All right.
Theory.
Dad, why did your friend talk about our bathroom habits on the radio?
Nobody knows.
Oh, I don't know. 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner show here, talking about the unsettled markets here in 2026. We did make our predictions early in the year of what we thought the markets would do this year. I don't know if I said it on the program, but I certainly felt it afterwards. I feel like I said it on a different podcast afterwards. I'm the least certain or confident about the direction of the market this year than I have been in some time. Even in the last 48 trading hours, that has come true. And Dame, a big portion of why the equity markets, the stock market, is struggling has to do with tech and AI. I have some thoughts on that, but I'm curious, as you think about how AI all of a sudden tanked the market yesterday, where does your head go?
I think we're in for a lot of this going forward, where you feels like, oh my gosh, somebody came through with this big upgrade or this big new product, and we see or we fear how it's going to impact the overall market, and people are going to be taking some money out of companies that they think are going to be impacted really, really quickly on that. Now, time will tell, obviously, on whether or not that's the case, and so what's weird is that may actually turn into buying opportunities once the dust actually settles and the fear subsides. But I said a number of years ago to a friend that with the news cycle and the proliferation of information through social media, whether it's true or not, volatility is just going to be way more frequent and have way higher highs and way lower lows. And we're going to have to find a way to cut through the noise and not be distracted by all of this.
So AI has gone from this magic bullet to this weird market drag here in 2026. And that's different. It's really different. There was a lot of promises, but now the idea that, AI is the element that lifts all ships, it's now being questioned as to whether the hype is justified at all, especially with the spend with some of these tech companies. So, Kristen, I know you love numbers. Amazon, have you heard of Amazon?
I don't know that I'm familiar.
Microsoft?
Yep.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Yes.
Google?
Yes.
And Meta?
No.
They combined, by the way, she's joking, everyone. These are jokes. $600 billion are budgeted for those companies to spend on AI-related infrastructure and R&D in 2026 alone. $600 billion. And what happened in the stock market on Thursday of this week is that investors said, no, dog. Like, That's that does not work. Dame, I know for a long time, I'll say since 1999 or so, market traditionalists have been yearning for these valuations to come down from the moon. And do you think possibly this is the beginning of a renaissance of reasonable valuations and numbers because people are calling the bluff on spending $600 billion on these things?
No, I don't.
No.
No, I just don't see how that's necessarily going to correlate across all markets or all types of equities at this point. There might be, and we see this, cyclical natures, or where one industry really gets beat up based on some circumstances or overall opinion on what's going on there. This may be that reckoning for AI potentially. But you know what? As soon as they figure out a way to show investors value again, they're going to be people piling money into those stocks faster than you know what to do with, because that's the ultimate goal for all of this, is for people to make a little bit of money. And if they are fearful, they're going to take money off. But as soon as they think there's a dollar to be made, it's going back in.
Yeah, Chris, I think there's three major risks with all this spending. I mean, not that I'm going to tell these people what to do, and nor would they listen, nor do they know who I am. But I think there are three risks, and I'm curious with your brain how you think of this. Number one is just the simple disruption of winners and losers. So they're all spending collectively $600 billion, but within that group that I mentioned, there are winners and there are losers. So I think what the market is saying, at least with individual companies there, is, I don't think you're going to win with, for instance, I think it was Amazon is spending 200 billion of that 600 billion this year. And what their investors said yesterday was, nah, I don't think that's for you. How much do you see that is, even with that elite group, someone's going to take it on the chin?
That's really interesting, because I think there are so many other elements at play as to why investors might not be as bullish on Amazon. I don't know about all of you, but when I think anecdotally, I think about the people in my circle who are becoming increasingly frustrated with Amazon. Like, they seem to be paying more, receiving less, deliveries aren't on time, the customer service isn't what it was, and. So I think when you add this element of uncertainty onto the top of it, that maybe is the tipping point we're seeing of, like, if this was an isolated variable, would I be that upset about it? Maybe not, but I already kind of have this bad taste in my mouth about this company.
How do you think of that, Dave?
I think there's a lot of truth to what Kristen just said there. I Amazon specifically, I think they just shut down like some grocery stuff, or they just announced they were moving away from a certain direction as well. So clearly they're recognizing that they can't do absolutely everything. There's some limits to what they're trying to do. And once upon a time, GE went through a very similar phase, and GE's not nearly what they used to be either. So there may come a point in time where some of these companies who are going every different direction may have to have a reckoning and say, you know what, we're going to have to focus on what we do well and where we can provide value to not only our customers, but our shareholders, and then move forward with that plan. Because if you spread yourself too thin, you're not going to be able to weather the storms. Too many cracks will appear and everything falls apart.
Reuters pointed out this week that risk number two here is that spending does not equal earnings. While there may be future profits based on AI, to what Kristen's point was, y'all, the street cares about today's earnings. That's what they care about. And that's what investors are evaluating them on. So risk number two is that the profitability of AI is too far out. Dame, does that risk hold water, or do you feel like the market knows how to adjust for stuff like that?
The market is adjusting for stuff like that right now. And if people want to take that risk on, then great, go for it. But what we're seeing, I think, is a lot of people saying, you know what, it is a little bit further out than what I'm comfortable with, because guys, you've made a lot of commitments. There's a lot of money that's either out there or promised to be out there. And I haven't seen a way that you're going to generate consistent revenue going forward. So in lieu of not having a plan that I'm confident in, I can't give you my money right now. Now, there are some people that are ardent believers, and they're going to absolutely be in with that, all 10 toes. But right now, I think people are saying, the numbers aren't adding up for me. We've got to be a little bit more reasonable with where our investments are going.
All right. So, Kristen, the final element of this, the final risk that the New York Post really talked about this week was that it's a belief that sentiment has flipped on AI. There was once optimism, and it's now anxiety. And that it's the AI boom could be overly expensive and underproductive. I kind of get down with that. I kind of think there's something there. How do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, especially off the back of the House bill in the state of Indiana. I don't know how much you guys have seen about that, but yeah, sentiment around data centers in general, around AI, not so great on my social feeds, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm with you. There is a lot of pushback on those data centers. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back. We're going to talk crypto and then precious metals. Nice little Sunday for us. That is, if you are listening on a Sunday. I'm Pete the Planner. This is the Pete the Planner Show. Yeah, a lot of NIMBY. Not in my backyard. That's NIMBY. It's an acronym.
As people update their Facebook profile pictures to be AI caricatures.
Don't worry, though, Pete. The government will build all the data centers they need to spy on us.
Oh, there's Dame. Kristen, you missed that, didn't you?
I did. Dame, they don't need to spy on you. They already have your phone.
I know. But keep that data somewhere and then find better ways to spy on me.
Kristen, you know what's frustrating with Dame's cranky anti-government ways is that as time moves on, I move towards him.
He becomes more right.
Yeah. Yet he moves further. I can't catch up with him.
Can't catch him.
I can't catch him. It's unbelievable. I'm like, I can't wait to tell Uncle Dame like why I agree with him. And then I tell him, he's like, well, yeah, but, and then he's like,
also,
I'm like, oh my gosh, really? We didn't land on the moon?
Just trying to, I never said that. I'm just trying to keep you in my wake. So you just get pulled along. Even if you think you're standing still, you just get pulled further my direction.
It's a drip campaign. He's got you down.
Do you see I didn't know anything about this. I remember it being discussed, I think, last term in our great state of Indiana. Check local listings for the state that you live in. They're genuinely considering doing away with property taxes right now.
I have not seen a single thing about
two articles that talk about states that are jumping on board with eliminating property taxes. And they said it wouldn't, if they pass something, it likely wouldn't be this year. It would be a reduction. And then maybe in 2027, they would be eliminated. And then they would they would make up the loss in revenue through sales and use taxes.
Well, either way, the
sales tax for those data centers.
The state continues to not spend money on education. State of Indiana, at least, is now school systems are letting staff go as they're already understaffed. So that's fun. Thanks for that. But just my opinion, by the way. I mean, it happens to be right, but that's just my opinion. All right. Crypto. We should have, feel like we almost should have had our old friend Doug Collins on this part of the show.
I've thought about him so many times in the last couple of weeks.
Does anyone have any crow available?
It's going to be interesting. I'm actually going to read an email that we got this week about this next part of the segment. Okay, here we go. I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right. Let's. Boy. So I get distracted like a young cat. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner Show, talking unsettled markets. We've talked about the equity markets. We've talked about real estate markets. And now we're going to talk about crypto. And I'm going to begin it with an email from a listener who says, good day, Kristen and co. Good thing she's here to hear that. With the beating that Bitcoin has recently taken, I listened back to the Bitcoin episode with Doug Collins from a little over a year ago. In the episode, everyone was pretty skeptical but did put 5-year predictions at, by the way, this person recorded what our predictions were.
Son of a gun.
Let's start with Dame. $750,000 per Bitcoin for Damian Andrew Dunn of Northern Indiana, married Kristen at $500,000 per Bitcoin. And your humble and modest, moderate host, a centrist, Peter Dunn, $370,000. Much of that was based on expected government actions in 2025. I'm curious what everyone still thinks. Is this crypto winter, or will it recover from nearly 40% off the peak last year? Dame, since you took the biggest swing and so far face planted into the home plate, I'm curious, what do you think?
I'd like to point out face planting and home plate still scores a run. If you get there before you get tagged.
Deflecting from his reality. Dame, what do you think? Are we in crypto winter? Why are we so wrong?
How far out were those projections made? I don't remember. 5 years?
5
years? Okay. First of all, it's crypto, Bitcoin specifically, has a pattern of having huge pullbacks before rocketing right back up.
Oh.
Why does it do that? I have no idea. I don't know why there is a cyclical removal of dollars from Bitcoin only to put it right back in there. It feels almost like there are some people that are trying to manipulate things at different times so that they can participate in larger run-ups or to try and nudge it to have a big run-up. So is $750,000 still a reasonable target, or even a good guess? I don't know. Probably because I don't really care, because I don't have any of my own dollars in it. So it really is a zero cost guess for me. I will tell you though, you guys know me. I'm not a big crypto guy, but it looks kind of attractive at a 50% off sale.
Kristen?
Peter.
This is the part where you give your thoughts.
I almost fear we need our good friend of the show, Ollie Dunn.
Okay. Here we go. Ready? Stand by.
This is for information purposes only. It's not the Swiss financial planning device. Consult a financial advisor.
Okay.
Thank you, Ollie.
Yep.
So what's really interesting is I don't know whether I do or I don't stand by any of the numbers that we had, but what I will say is that it doesn't scare me as far as like, could there still be that potential run up? Because to Dame's point, this is not the first time that Bitcoin in this instance has had that big of a pullback. In fact, I don't even think percentage wise that this is the largest pullback that it's ever had. Is it the biggest dollar amount? Yeah, because it finally crested that like big 6-figure number. But this is not that abnormal. If this is your investment strategy, you have to be comfortable with the volatility.
And we're not talking about companies crashing or the major economy around us stumbling and falling down and having some major issues. We're talking about imaginary money right now. And if it goes away, then you made a bad bet is what it's going to come down, not financial advice. So if it stays here or goes down even more, does it have ramifications in the overall economy? Probably some, but I ain't too worried about it. It stinks if you're somebody who lost a whole bunch of money in crypto. Don't get me wrong. I feel bad for you, but it's not going to have the same impact as if there was huge market issues.
The biggest pullback I can see in the last 5 years looks to be from the peak of November 7th, 2021, down to a trough of 15,000 in November of 2022.
What was that percentage?
I don't know, but it is. That was pretty significant. I mean, that's a pretty significant percentage. 64 down to 15.
Yeah.
That's 75%.
Yeah.
Ish.
That's not, again, I think if anything else, now is the time. If you were someone who thought that crypto was something that you could stomach,
This is not investment advice.
it's not. I'm talking about your risk tolerance. That is not specific to crypto. That's just in general. If you thought that you could stomach crypto, maybe now's the time to think and reevaluate your risk tolerance.
I have regrets for what I'm about to say.
Oh no.
No, and also I want to also say to you both in real time, you don't have to react to this. You don't have to comment what I'm about to say because it gets a little interesting. My belief was that the Trump administration was going to buy crypto reserves. That was the entire premise behind my prediction, and that states would follow, specifically red states would follow. Like that was my calculation. Clearly, that has not happened. Instead, what I believe has happened, this is my opinion, is that whatever interest that President Trump had in the powers of cryptocurrency have then been used to enrich himself as opposed to leverage it as a tool for the country. That is where I don't expect either of you to say anything. But that is my belief, is that crypto is this interesting cog in a machine of something. And I don't even go with hope. It wasn't my hope that the country was going to get a national reserve around it, but that was my expectation. I think that cog has been put into a different machine, and there's a lot less interest in putting it into the cog of our reserve. Now, I do welcome your comments if you have them. Does anyone have a reflection on that?
No.
I know you guys so well. This is amazing. Let's talk gold and silver.
What?
Okay. Dame, I told you last week, I slacked you. It was after the show. I was like, last Thursday, I'm doing something, and I'm like, should I get a little bit of silver? Just a little bit, just a hedge or something. By God, Dame, within hours, it fell off a cliff. Just like, it was like Instagram was listening to a conversation with me and my kids, and all of a sudden I'm getting servant ads. What happened was I thought about it and it crashed. Why in the world are gold and silver falling off a cliff every other day?
Fair warning. Do we have a responsibility, at least to our coworkers, to announce to them when we're thinking about buying something so they can sell it before we do it? It doesn't go very well for us. I don't know. Gold and silver. People are in times of fear and panic and market uncertainty. People flee to what they see as stable values, and we've seen a lot of that over the last year. And gold and silver both have industrial uses as well, and so that's helped buoying those prices. Why we're seeing such ups and downs and volatility there, man, I don't know. I just scratch my head. Don't know.
I sent this to our colleagues yesterday. This was 5-day return on silver prices down 33%. 1 month return down 1%. 3 month return up 57%. 1 year return up 129%. That is chaos. Coming up after the break, biggest waste of money of the week and the news right here on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. I loved your look on your guys' faces when I gave my hot take. Here's how this works. Kristen doesn't move. She's like a scared raccoon. She freezes and her eyes tell the story. They start to dilate. Dame usually touches his chin and he gives this little bit of a head shake no. It's like this. He doesn't know that he's doing the no, but he's doing the no. That's how I know that these two do not want to talk about something that I talk about.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I do believe that.
Good for you.
I know, and I'm not asking you to agree with me, by the way.
I think there's a lot of truth there. Because I remember that period where it felt like, and some states did go in and put some cash into crypto. Most of it was probably Bitcoin and Solana, maybe, but it seemed like that was going to start being a part of reserves for different government entities, and for whatever reason, that doesn't seem like it was followed through on. Now, maybe some states didn't; it just didn't make headlines, but it's not nearly as at the forefront of media as it certainly was. Makes me think probably didn't happen.
I will say this. I do have some crypto. I was calculating what percentage it was of my portfolio, and it is significantly less than 5%. And it's because of times like this. It is like I'm watching it completely tank, and I got to be honest, I don't care. Like, I just don't. If it were more than that, I would care so much. And I also have to say, when it was flying high and it was less than 5% of my portfolio, I still had quite the buzz off of it and really enjoyed what was there. So that's how I know I have the right allocation.
I mean, you want to talk about one of the benefits of a well-diversified portfolio, that's it. If you know that there's something in there that's just absolutely get kicked in the knee, you don't have to worry about it too much because it's okay. It shouldn't be overweight. It's whatever. It just happens. It's part of the overall experience of being an investor.
I'm actually looking in to see what unrealized loss I have. Just about 50%.
Hey.
But again, I mean, what's it matter? I don't plan on doing anything with it. So it was always a wildcat bet for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do it. Gosh, cold brew and protein shakes.
You got one more segment to make it through.
No, I don't. There's nothing. It just is painful. Just it's a. Oh. Okay. 3, 2, 1. This week's biggest waste of money of the week right here on the Pete the Planner Show is the Le Labo Violette 30. Le Labo adds Violette 30 to its permanent classic collection inspired by the Victorian language of flowers, where violets symbolize contradictions. Okay, guys, this time out.
Time out.
This is what I'm about to read to you. My favorite copy that I've read in maybe 5 years on this show.
Oh, man. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to back up a hair. Inspired by the Victorian language of flowers, where violets symbolize contradictions. From strength to delicacy, passion to innocence. The fragrance centers on white violet, a rarer shadow-seeking variety, combined with green florals, white tea, cedar wood, and guaico wood, described as crystalline yet untethered. The unisex scent is hand-blended with personalized labels, available now at several locations. I liked crystalline yet untethered, which is exactly how I describe Dame to people.
I'm trying to figure out how those would I expect something to be tethered if it was crystalline?
Oh, that's a great point. Why is there a yet?
I fell asleep. I don't know.
I think you might have over-exaggerated on the quality of this copy.
Strength to delicacy, passion to innocence? Like passion to innocence?
Sure.
It's a lot of words.
It is. Okay, Dame, some perfume. Oh, wait, Kristen, it's some perfume.
No, I almost got to guess second. Is this really 17 ounces?
That's a bunch.
That's so much.
Yeah, I mean, if you're dealing with guaico wood,
you'll never have to buy anything else again for the rest of your life.
It's a pint of perfume.
Okay, it is $1,500.
Dame?
I mean, it's a pint. I mean, it's gonna be $5,000.
$1,125. Looks like both of you are buying this.
No.
You know, I do agree. 16 ounces of perfume is pretty intense.
It's a lot.
For smelly water.
I'm angry about it, but I wouldn't say I'm incensed. Dane, what's in the news this week?
Talks to revive expired Affordable Care Act subsidies have collapsed, according to Senate negotiators, dimming hopes for roughly 20 million Americans facing higher health insurance premiums. Lawmakers have been negotiating a bipartisan proposal. Yeah, I got it. That would have extended a scaled back version of the expanded tax credits for 2 years. The plan would have limited eligibility for higher income households, eliminated $0 premium plans, and eventually allowed enrollees to fund health savings accounts. That's nice. But senators from both parties now say a deal is unlikely. It's effectively over, said Senator Bernie Moreno of Ohio. Others involved in the talks described the negotiations as increasingly difficult.
So you're telling me a deal was made to talk about something else later, and now they've gotten to the later, and they can't make a deal on the later.
Surprise.
Wow.
Isn't that also about to happen with the later that was just negotiated in the latest shutdown deal?
Yes.
Pretty predictable.
I'm shocked.
I wonder. Okay, so I don't know. This isn't me knowing, and then like, here's what's going to happen. I don't know. What is going to happen when those unsubsidized healthcare plans live in the marketplace, people pay them or go uninsured? How long does it take if there ends up being wild repercussions from it? Like, how long until it is acknowledged and solved for, you know?
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time. I mean, this problem in its complexity dwarfs solving the Social Security problem.
Wow.
How do we get back here?
You think healthcare dwarfs Social Security problem?
Yeah, you could solve Social Security really quick. Just nobody has the appetite to do it.
Nobody wants to be a one-termer, Pete.
Yep.
I would love for them all to be one-termers. What? Dang, that's so interesting. Okay, so I'm tracking a bit because then you got to get in with the insurance companies, you got to get into the hospital systems, and you got to get into the actual physicians and the pharma company. Like it is. Mm-hmm. It is. By the way, it is not a conspiracy. That's not the direction I'm going, but it is a pretty tangled web.
And CVS owns them all.
You guys, I was interviewing a candidate for a job here the other day, and they previously worked for CVS.
Oh.
And man, it was really hard not to make a receipt joke. Like, I mean, it was like a serious part of the conversation. And I wanted to be like, when you worked there, was your resume printed on a 30-foot sheet of paper? Like, I was sort of loading up what the joke would be, but then we got into a serious moment and I couldn't go back, and it hurt. It hurt bad.
Yeah. I mean, you could have had like a validate your parking and had a really long piece of paper to something.
What else is the news?
We've got a little bit of a sports tilt today, but since in honor of the Olympics, I think I'll go there first.
Okay.
Winter Olympics have already begun, believe it or not. The first event kicked off Thursday. That's mixed doubles curling, Pete, but I know you knew that. Just like the Greeks envisioned, we've got people sliding around on ice, throwing stones. Olympians just aren't competing for pride and glory this year. There's some serious cash at stake. Since the closing ceremony of the Summer Olympics in Paris, the price of gold has soared 93%, while silver is rocketed 154% higher. Given the mixture of gold and silver alloys and the first and second place awards, a gold medal is worth about this much today from this games.
I don't even.
$2,300 is how much a gold medal is worth if you melt it down. Silver, $1,400, making the most valuable medals in Olympic history. Unfortunately, third place isn't impressive. Bronze medals are made of 420 grams of copper, which means they're worth roughly $5.60.
Oh, that's amazing.
Commodities, everybody.
Come on. Great in commodities, everybody. You've come so far as a broadcaster. That's like the best thing I've ever said. Commodities, everybody.
Yeah,
that's funny. What else?
We could talk about the World Cup, a little football to catch your attention. Games don't kick off until July, but JP Morgan says the economic impact is already coming into focus. Analysts see a wide range of industries positioned to cash in as global attention shifts to soccer. Ticket resellers are expected to be the biggest winners. Surprise, surprise. Demand has topped 500 million ticket requests for roughly this many available seats. Pete, 500 million ticket requests for
a million seats?
7 million seats. 7 million seats.
It's not that bad when you say it that way.
What? Not that bad.
It's 7
people want to sit in one seat.
Well, look, you can sit on my lap. I mean, we could share a seat, and it cuts the numbers down significantly.
Sure, it's just the economical way to do things. It's going to create a resale market that could bring in estimated, and I think this is low, $1 billion. I don't see there's any way it's less than $1 billion. Travel and lodging companies are also set to benefit as fans book flights, rides, and short-term rentals to follow their. It says teams. Shouldn't it be country? I mean, I guess it's teams too, but countries. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, but, most football fans like their home team, but then they cheer for another country or two. It's sort of a thing.
Is it really?
Especially Americans.
I would say Americans I could see because our success in the World Cup on the men's side hasn't been all that great. But I don't see somebody from Brazil cheering for. No,
it's an American thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to do a show in the next couple weeks on the prediction markets, like Polymarket and Kalshi
or whatever those other? Yeah, I really should learn a little bit more about them. It'd be interesting.
We will. But right now, I'm going to send everyone good vibes because good vibes are all that's in the budget. I'm Pete the Planner. This is the Pete the Planner show. I don't know anything about them, so it'd be like a dummy's guide to prediction markets.
Great. My favorite.
Well, it sounds like you're qualified for that then, Kristen.
Indeed.
The blind leading the blind. It
is. Yeah, we could do it. We could also get an expert, but I'd be nervous like I get an expert on that. They're like, here's what you do.
Just pepper them with questions.
All right. Anybody else got anything they want to say?
Welcome back, Kristen.
I thought we were both just going to sit in silence, Dave.
Sorry.
What did you say that funny phrase? Commodities? What did you say?
Or something like that.
Yeah.
It was the greatest thing I've ever said, and he forgot it in 3 minutes.
You guys, I'm so caffeinated and protein.
Broadcasting.
Yeah, I'm hitting my grams of protein. That's what I'm into. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here. Kristen, glad you're back. Stay getting money.
Hi, I'm Dave Neff, host of Talent Scout. On this show, we shine a light on Indiana's next generation of leaders who are making a difference in business, community, and civic life. These are real conversations about purpose, mentorship, and building a future that matters. Join me as we invest in leadership that lasts. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast app or listen at ibjpodcasts.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.